Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Evolution Podcast with Mac and Jen. And today it's just me because I'm going to go over some stuff that I'm going to call out in a sense, but also just be like in the truth on it and expose a few things. And there's a lot of challenges that I've been through, struggles, trials, shit's been fucked up and everything. But today we're going to talk about quitters and specifically a client of mine that decided to quit because they got sold on something else and yada yada yada. So we're going to go into the details of that because this person signed up with me at one time and then almost immediately quit after getting some results because they got sold on something else and now they're trying to blame me for their fucking failures. And I'm just like, no, we're not going to play this game. You don't get to come at me when I offered to do multiple things to help and then you go fuck off and now you're going to come at me like I'm a piece of shit. Fuck you. You can't do that. That's not how it works. And I say fuck you in the sense of like, you can go fuck yourself. However, it's not like I don't care about the person. It's not like I don't want them to succeed or anything else. It's just like, you don't do this. Like, this is not the truth. And so, first thing you have to understand is there's certain parameters with the conversation that say, yes, there are some things that didn't go so well on my part. Some things that were a little different, things, challenges and different things. So I'm just going to lay it out and expose all of it and kind of go through the sequence of events and this person will know who they are if they ever listen to it to the T. And so what one thing is there's a lot of people that will quit or walk away, or they'll come up with an excuse or justification on why this doesn't work for them. And this meaning it could be anything. It could be their workout, their diet, their program, their this, their that. They make a fucking excuse and they run away. And occasionally someone will quit in the sense of, I don't feel like this is where I need to go. I need to go over here. So I'm going to drop this and go there. That's a decision made for their benefit. And 99.9% of people are not in that lane. Out of 100 freaking people, rarely have I ever met one that actually makes a wise decision to say, you know what, this isn't what I thought. I've given it 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, however many days, and it's not what I even anticipated. This is different. I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna go over here. Most of them get in a situation where they're now having to take personal responsibility or do something different, and they don't want to, and they need a reason why they're basically failing, which is okay as long as you just continue to move and go with it. And what they begin to do is start to say, I'm failing. I don't want to fail. So it must be someone else's fault. So I'm going to blame them. This isn't what's right for me. I've even heard stories along the lines of, well, God told me I needed to do this, which is basically them breaking their commitment, right? That they made, breaking their commitment and not owning any of it, which God never tells anyone to do. So you can shove that right up your ass because that's bullshit. If anything, God says, keep your word. And so, especially if you give your word to other people, then you do that. So, kind of on the pretense of the absolute truth is God's word, that's it, right? We're not going to get into too much of that. We're just going to get into some simple basics of look, stop fucking quitting, stick to something, do what you say you're going to do, or at least own it when you don't. Okay. Like if you decide to quit, you need to own it, not make an excuse, not be like, oh, well, it's just this is it. This isn't what I signed up for. And blah, 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 blah. You make all these fucking excuses and they're bullshit. And you know it, but you don't even have the emotional capacity to just own it and just be like, no, I'm just gonna quit. Okay. Like I'm gonna go a different direction. I understand that I'm not doing the things that I said I was going to do. I understand that I'm not going to use a system that is available because I don't feel like it fits me. That's fine. That's my responsibility to make a different decision and do things differently. So it is what it is. And it comes with a weight of emotion of saying like, I'm wrong. Okay. It's a level of humility that must be required in that 0.1% of people that actually do it right. Saying, nope, you know what? I'll just take responsibility for it. And I've done this. Okay. Like I've done it to the sense of that where something wasn't really working for me and I'm like, man, I'm just not it just is what it is. Like maybe I paid for something and it's not working out for me and I'm just like, man, I could bail on this and not finish paying. Like ultimately I could, right? Like I could bail on it. I could even blame them for not providing. I've even paid, multiple thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s of dollars for programs. And at the end of the day, if it didn't work or if I didn't work, I don't blame anybody. I just take it as the lesson. Now, I've had I've hired some companies where I paid them to do something and they didn't do what they fucking said they would. And I think they're a piece of shit for that. But whose fault is it? It's mine. I didn't have a proper contract. I didn't do all those different things. Like it, I mean, it just, but ultimately it's my fault. I've hired coaching companies, coaches, and different things that were supposed to show me how to do X, Y, Z. And you know what? They had good information. They had good content, everything else. They misrepresented a few things here and there that I don't mind calling out at the right time. I will expose those too, but that's not what this one's about. But in that, I didn't quit. I just said, yeah, it's good information. And if I were to do it the way you're saying, it would probably work, but I feel like it's a waste of my time. So I'm just going to do it different. Like this is what I'm choosing to do different. I'm not blaming them for failing. I'm, or saying, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, or you sold me, or you misrepresented. No, I'm like, no, I could see how I can make this work. I think it's valuable. There's like, even after I saw it, and some of them I've seen and not even finished and just walked out the door, let them have my money. And I said, yeah, like it is what it is. Like I agreed to pay, I paid, now I'm choosing to leave. That's my problem, not yours. See you later. Okay. Like that's something you can fucking do. But what you don't do is, oh, this doesn't work for me. Like, it was all this, it was all that. No, you haven't done it. Like you didn't do what you signed up to do on your end. And until you've done that, shut the fuck up. Like it doesn't, like that doesn't count. And it doesn't matter, no matter what it's with. It doesn't matter if you're going to the gym and you got a personal trainer. It doesn't matter if you have a coach. It doesn't matter if you're in school. It doesn't matter. Like you chose to sign up for anything that you choose to go all in on and sign up for. And then you make an excuse to run away from, even if it's a relationship, it's something to do with your kids. Like it doesn't matter. If you don't have the personal responsibility to own it and say, I'm going to do something different, even if you don't like it, even if I'm wrong, even if I am going back on my own word, I'm going to own it and say, look, this is not going to work for me. This is not where I'm at. Like, okay, fine. You know what? As long as you own it, it is what it is. We all have to go through things where it's a challenge. It's a struggle, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get to the point of this conversation of what stirred it up. And most of the time I would just brush this off, like it doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter. However, the reality is if I brush this off, one, it would really disserve the person. Like this person has to be called out on some point. They're either going to be called out here or I'm going to personally reach out to them and call them out at some point. I'm waiting for a response. But this can't happen in a world of so many people being sold into coaching and personal development and training and all these different things. You don't get to blame someone else for your fuck up. That's unacceptable by my standards. And that's why the people that stay with me get results, because I don't hold them to some weak ass standard. I hold them to their word. I hold them to a truth, that something that says, no, that's not right. I don't like, I understand how you might feel, but look at this. Here's the truth. Like, this is where we need to get to. You're not there. No problem. We'll just keep going until we get there. And that's why people get results to stay in contact, or even in my friends get results, because being around someone that's willing to just stop and hold a standard is challenging and hard. However, it's very rewarding because the influence gets inside you and makes you be better. Like it's a blessing when you can be around other people like this. And that's why I surround myself with people like that. So this when I was going through divorce, like right about the time I was like getting into like it, everything was looking like it was getting better. I started putting my foot down and said, no, there's too much hidden bullshit here. We're going to expose everything. Like I'm done. And then all of a sudden she ran, like for whatever reason, I was starting to put my foot down with her, saying, you got to show up like this, like stop selling people and start delivering, and different things. And then just the honest truth of like, hey, like, yeah, sometimes we fight. That was the truth. She didn't want to talk about it. I was like, I don't fucking care. Like the truth is the truth. Like we are public figures. It has to be out. Otherwise we can be taken out by someone else. But if we always tell the truth, nobody can take us out. And just a combination of things was like, nope, she's done. She took off. Like, okay, it is what it is. But in this process, I was still coaching and I sold some people. And as we split, I was like, I got to pay for some stuff. So I don't like doing this very often, but I sold $5,000 packages for a year, which is stupid cheap. It's a year-long commitment for me to do whatever it takes to help them get what they need. Like whatever it takes. Like I was committed to that. And one of the people, they came in, they went through the whole process, completely changed their lives, did this, moved to a different place. Awesome, cool stuff happened. And they said, thank you so much. And they moved on. It was great. And then this one lady, she comes in, we start working together. And first thing I did is I said, you got to go get a fucking job. Like you're not going to build a coaching business when you're in scarcity. Go get a job. So she went and got a job. And she's like, well, this isn't what I want to work on. I want to work on my coaching business. I said, you can't until you get to here. That's the truth. And then the ex's new guy comes in selling like a used car salesman. That's what it felt like from the first day I met him. But and it was all friendly at the time. But it was like, I don't like this seems a little bit cheesy in the way it's being done, but okay, we'll just sit back on it and see. And I was like, you know what? If she doesn't want to be with me, she doesn't want to be with me. I wish him the best. Like it is what it is. And I still do. I don't like the way things went down after this part, but I still wish them the best. Like I want them to succeed in the most healthy, godly way possible. That's my genuine want for them. And so this one client of mine gets sold on the whole idea of whatever it was, I don't know, and then comes back to me 2 months in, month and a half, 2 months in, something like that. We hadn't got together that quick because she wasn't getting on calls with me. And so she was kind of already failing at that. And gets the job, so at least she has stability. So she's already making progress. And that's where I can begin to build with is like you have to have something. You can't be in scarcity. We gotta fix the kind of get to zero before you can start to build from there. It's like math. If you're not doing multiplication until you can count to 10. Okay. Like if you can't fucking count to 10, we're not doing multiplication or physics or anything else. Like you want to run a coaching business, like you're talking physics. Okay. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to be able to understand that. And this goes with your relationship. It goes with your kids. It goes with your body. Like you have like zero is the first target if you're not above it. If you're obese, you got to like the zero is correcting the diet. Like that's where you start. You get that, then we can start doing different things. Start, whatever. But if you don't have the discipline to at least do that, you got to learn to count to 10 first. So we start on this path, then get sold. And then she's like, well, you know what? This isn't just going to work for me. Can I get my money back? And I'm like, that when I got this money from you, like, that I was using this money to pay for things because of this divorce and that money is gone. Like, it's like, I don't have the money to pay you back right now. I have a commitment to deliver on what I said I would do, as do you. And when I did this, it was a no refund policy. And it's like, well, and I was like, however, like if I can do it, if I can pull it off, it's not, I don't know when this is going to be, then I'll consider it. Like I'll do something. But in the meantime, even if I'm going to pay you back, I still need to know that you're taken care of. So just show up on some calls with me for a little while so I can at least get you to this next step. And then crickets. Never heard from her again until the other day. I posted a story of me being up in the wilderness with my wife and, taking a trip where, it wasn't a lot of money. We drove ourselves there, did everything, but apparently she took offense that now my life is pretty good, which, to her, I don't know what that is, but it's like, hey, why don't you show up like I do? Why don't you work 16 hours a day, go hard nonstop, do this, do that, deal with all the weight, the pressure and everything else. Why don't you show up like that? You'd be fucking successful too. Hell, if you just would have stuck around, you'd be successful. Like just being in the presence of me, you'd have a coaching business by now. There's no way I would not have allowed you not to after 2 fucking years. Like that's a standard I wouldn't accept for myself. Why would I accept it from you? But you quit. You fucking quit. And not only that, but only one of the coaches that I had before came back around, came over, got back in the circle with me. And she's the only one that I know of from that old company that is at a consistent 10K a month coaching practice. That's it. And keeps moving up. And on top of that, her relationship is better with her spouse. Her kids' relationship is better. She's working on other areas of her life. She's becoming more and more of an influencer, taking traveling more and more all the time. Her life is increasing time and time again, over and over. And so, when it really comes down to it, if you're out there being a like quitter, stop. Just start showing up, start doing things different. And if you're going to, at least own it humbly, because at the end of the day, none of this matters. It doesn't matter what you do, this, that, whatever, like, it's the people that make an excuse and walk away, find some reason. Oh, God said this, that. No, fuck you. You, you're dust. Like, when it comes down to it, God created everything. You came from dust. He's the one in control. And at the end of all this, you have to answer for it. We all do. That even though we have grace and mercy and Jesus to save us, there is still a reckoning that you at some point have to take personal responsibility to do something different, to wake up, step up, and say, you know what? I made a bad decision. I'm going to do it different. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to do that. That's okay, because at least you got the balls to have the humility to say, okay, yep, I have to do this different. And in that decision to say, I have to do this different, and taking ownership is the power of the emotion that gives you that energy to like come at it differently and be like, I'm never doing that again. I bought in way too early. I bought in emotionally, and I can't fucking do that. I have to do it different. Even if that's the lesson, if that's a $5,000 lesson you need to learn, then guess what? That's what it cost. Because for me, it wasn't $5,000. It was 5 million fucking dollars. Okay. When we had a company before that was bringing in money, our own money, everybody's money, launching all these programs and everything else. And it was kind of working. And then we got a really stupid accountant, and I didn't vet him well enough, and that's my fault. And all of a sudden, money's not where it's supposed to be. And, he didn't steal any, he just didn't put it in the right spot, and it screwed things up. And then people weren't getting paid. And then rumors started and wiped out $5.5 million worth of effort over several years, and wiped out the thousands of people that have dealt with, gone. Couple friends out of probably people would have, over 100 people would have claimed they were my friend. And then when it was all said and done, a couple stayed around. Family members gone. Like, okay, that's fine. I understand it. Like, that was a fucking lesson. Don't pay people for shit that can't complete it. The accountant paid him. He couldn't do the damn job he was asked to do. My fault. Okay. Don't ever hire that person again. Make sure they're validated, accredited, whatever. Do better job at making sure that's done. That's that's just ownership. It is what it is. Shit happens. It's not freaking fun, but you don't get to come out and point the finger. And so this person sees me looking like I'm living the life, and I love my life. Okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with my life. I work my ass off. I plan on changing that, but there's still things that I have to cover and things I got to do to get back to where I was or higher, and work my way up. But I'm loving the journey of doing it. And I have an amazing wife doing it with me. And so took offense to it, and then gets on there and starts telling me that I'm out of, like, I have no integrity. I'm a sleazy slime ball. I don't know. You just like list it. Like, it really didn't. I don't really care what she said as far as that goes. Like, you can call me whatever names you want. It doesn't affect me. But as a previous client, what I don't accept is for you to be a fucking loser. Like, that doesn't work. That I come at things with the truth. You know that I'll call you out, and this is what I'm doing. I'm calling you out to say, why don't you take responsibility for your own damn decision? Like, I was committed to doing what we set up to do. I was committed. Even after you wanted your money back, I was still committed, and even offered to pay you back. And then you come at me and do this. Well, you really made me really want to pay you back. Like, this is a no refund policy. And I was saying, hey, like, if it works out to that, then maybe we can figure it out. But when I'm fighting to pay debt down, that is just residual from a previous relationship, that's just like having to fight my way through it. Like, it, then you pull this shit, you think you're going to be at the top of the list or at the bottom of the list? Like, this lesson right here is enough for $5,000, if not more. So what do you want to do? I asked you after your shitty comments, I said, now why would you go off and say something like that? Question mark. Saw that you saw it. Then the next thing you say, I said, I'll wait. Question mark, question mark. Still waiting. You, for one, you owe me an apology. You owe yourself an apology for fucking quitting in the first place. And you owe yourself enough whatever to take some responsibility and say, yeah, I fucked up. Like, one, you apparently fucked up in spending the money twice because you hired me and then hired this other guy. And apparently you didn't get anything from there, because if it worked, you would be happy and successful and you wouldn't have sent the message. Or two, you could have just stuck around and got value and worked through it at your own pace. That opportunity was open, and for whatever reason, you chose somewhere else to go. That was your choice. And then you decide that it's someone else's fault that you suck. No. Take some responsibility and do things different and live a better life. That's what I'm calling you to action to do. You don't ever have to talk to me again. But the next time you go into something saying, this is what I want to do, you find the person that's done it, that actually's done it, not selling you on it. Somebody that's willing to hold the standard of the truth and then hold you to it and keep you on fire on it. And, or you got to quit hoping for dreams that you're not willing yourself to go after, because that's bullshit. Don't do that shit. Stop gossiping, stop spreading rumors, stop telling people it's their fault when it's your fault. You need to take responsibility. And this isn't just to one person. This is to any of you that need to hear it at the moment. And you just got to stop quitting or take responsibility. Either one. You know, I'm not saying there's times when you need to quit and walk away. Okay. Especially if it's a bad thing. If you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, then you need to quit and walk away for damn sure. But on the other end, just take responsibility to understand that you have the power to create everything, and everything that is in your results right now, you created. The choices you made led you to here. Had you made different choices, you would be somewhere else. In other words, it gives you the perfect opportunity to make new choices to lead yourself somewhere better. You have the power. No one else has the power to ruin your fucking life. Nobody. And just like Aunt Sally said, nobody but you can make you mad. No one. So don't forget it. Keep that in your mental box, as being like, no, as mad as I am, that what I'm really fucking mad at, and this one that's going to sting the most. What I'm really mad at is my own personal situation. I am so fucking angry that I am here right now in this shitty place and everything else. And so I'm going to take it out on someone else. That's childish. That shows your emotional integrity is about this fucking big, and you shouldn't be like, if you're a coach and you feel that way, you shouldn't be a damn coach. Not until you heal that part of you and take some responsibility to understand that you're the one that fucking put yourself there. Because if you don't understand that, you have no business coaching anybody else ever. Because how the hell are you going to help them get to where they need to if you're telling them they don't have to be responsible for their own fucking results? How's that going to work? It doesn't. Same way with your kids. Like if any of you have kids, if you don't help them understand that they can take responsibility and that they can do things different, even though you may not agree or whatever, they have the power to live their lives the way they're going to live them. And if you teach people and show people the way and the power of personal responsibility and the power of choice to choose better choices, to do things better and different in a greater way, that's one of the most powerful things you can do, combined with a little bit of hope and saying like, you can get there, some encouragement saying you can do it, and then the possibility of where you can get to, because a choice today leads to a different result tomorrow. So even if you're the person that I called out saying, no, you don't get to do this, no, I'm not accepting it, you still have a choice. But the first choice is take personal responsibility for your stupid fucking decisions, especially the one of talking shit. Take some personal responsibility for it. Be like, that was my mistake. It was stupid, whatever. I was angry. Okay, fine. Like I mean, it's not my room to judge. I'll judge the conversation, but I'm not going to judge you. That's God, Jesus, whatever. You take that up with him. Like as soon as you get that dealt with, squared away, like I'm good. I don't give a shit. Like I would rather see you succeed. I still wish you the best. I want you to, but don't for a second stop. Keep moving, find your way through. If you want to be angry, but do it in a safe spot. Like you could even call me and be fucking angry, but you don't get to blame me. Okay. That's what you don't get to do because that doesn't help you. It lets you be a victim and it lets you fail. You can scream at me. You can tell me to fuck off. You can do whatever. It doesn't matter. Like that's fine. As long as you make a choice after that that gets you a better result, good, whatever. That's fine. Sometimes anger moves. Use it if you have to. I just don't care. I want everybody in life to succeed, even the people that I fucking like the least. Okay. So use it for power, use it for fuel, use it for whatever you want. But guys, don't fucking quit. Don't be a quitter on personal responsibility. All right. So I hope this lands wherever it needs to, whether it's with your relationship, with your body, with your kids, with your coach, with whoever the fuck it is. Don't be a quitter. Go out, do your best, even in your job. If you're gonna quit, you better do your best on your last day. Like you better be getting better. Otherwise, you know you need to correct something and you're out of integrity. Integrity is not something that is upheld forever. Integrity is right now I'm deciding to do better and you start doing it. That's integrity. As long as you're doing what you said you were going to do. You can get way off base and be out of integrity and in an instant be like, shit, I fucked up, own it, move back in and be in integrity that fast. And it feels amazing when you do that with discipline. Those things of just doing it with discipline and integrity will give you power, will give you fuel, it'll bring your emotions up and you'll start to manifest almost immediately. But if you hang on to this rage and anger and victim mentality, you'll stay stuck in a cesspool of shit that will continue to produce these results that you have over and over again. Okay, there's different ways of getting rid of bad energy, but the most powerful one is to just do shit different. Just change what you're doing and do it different. And so here's the encouragement, the call out. Stop being fucking weak. Do something different. Don't blame somebody else. Take responsibility. Understand that your choices lead to your results and you have the power to do anything. And that was given to you by God. Can't be taken from me. It can't be taken from you or anybody else. It was given to you by God. So get in conversation with him and figure it the fuck out. Have a wonderful day. Hope this made sense. See you guys later.